So here we are once again, me and Neil, and we're going to do another one of our track walks. We're going to try and make it not so long for this European Championship here in Sicily. I think that's how you say it. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, sounds close enough.
It sounds Italian. So yeah, here we go. We're going to start on the straight like we normally do. I'll let Neil talk you through the first corner because he likes it.
Yeah, okay, so pretty balls out into the first corner that we're going to name Eau Rouge after the famous Spa track in Belgium. No room for girls here. It's do or die basically. If you get that wrong, you're picking your car up in a couple of pieces, and it's one of my favourite bits of the track. To be honest, I like the do or die situations. It's pretty cool. Like you say, cars can get hurt, and we're going to go on to the next part of the track, which is a double well left-hander into another tight left-hander. That's like, well, I'm going to let Lee describe it because it's a little bit different than what it looks like.
So yeah, this is basically our first and more or less, well, there's one or two, but one of our only slow corners of the track. And to be honest, it's crucial for about the next, 4 sections or 4 corners you have to do to get this right. And if you do get this wrong and you blow yourself wide, it makes the next few really, really fast chicanes not as fast as they could be. So the idea is to cut this as close as you can, which isn't as easy as it looks because this pipe really wants to hurt you. But if you can get this tight and swing in with speed, the amount of pace you carry through the next chicanes is way, way better than if you blow that corner up. So yeah, that's a real crucial part of the track. A track that's pretty fast and pretty flat out, and that's one of our most crucial bits. As I'm coming through the chicane, just before I pass back over to Neil, there is some slight hole issue here. For the warm-up, it looked like it blew out here and it's been patched, so don't be surprised if that section comes up again and people are going to have to readjust their line through this fast chicane to miss this huge bump, which is at the point you're at full speed. So we're moving into our next corner and I'll pass you back over.
Yeah, so like Lee says, by the end of qualifying finals, I think the line's going to be a lot different through there. It's going to be a lot more sketchier. Then we come into a nice little right-hander, nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary. And then we come to, well, we can describe it as a rhythm section and the jump section, but
it's the only jump.
Yeah, it's the only jump section of the track really. So a nice easy double, no problems. And then you got, which I mean, it's a pretty big jump when you walk in the track. It looks like nothing on the track on the stand, but it's quite a distance. So it's it's pretty balls out again into the nice little landing. But then we got a nice little bit of dig out coming up now.
8 metre jump, 8 metres.
Yeah, about 8 metres. So that's it's big enough. And then we come to well, it looked okay at the start of the day, but again from the warm up, the exact same thing happened. So lines are going to have to be changed. You're going to have to kind of jump off the track to go around it. I can't believe that bit's still wet in 50-degree heat. So, yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, you're definitely going to have to choose your line.
It's a mystery of nature, that.
That's the one. And I'll pass you over to Lee.
Yeah, I've got a pretty boring corner here, to be fair. If you're tight, you're fast. If you're out wide, you're in the dust, you're slow. And it's, true of most racing lines, that's exactly how it is. Your next section is really a section you're not really going to make time on here, but you could possibly lose it by going too fast or too slow. First bit's pretty easy. They're just basically 3 rollers. The problem is if you go too slow, you're going too slow. If you go too fast, you can have a tendency to overjump this one and slap too hard into the face of the last one, which then at the minimum will push you wide. The maximum is resulting in a crash, which you don't want. Also, something I just did in my last practice was I landed this fine and come in a little too tight on this pipe. And this pipe is not only completely solid this way, but it was also raised a little bit, and that is perfect place to snap your front shock shaft, which I did. So that's one thing to look out for. Apart from that, this is probably the slowest corner on the track. It's the only one where you're really doing a proper 180 hairpin, so that's probably your slowest corner, followed by the next one, which is a wider 180, but you do carry more speed into here. And this is the more technical part of the course, which we're coming to, which Neil can talk you through. There's a couple of different lines you can take, but most people have settled for one.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I thought looking at this is going to be the make or break, but it's not been as crucial today as what I thought it would be. But yeah, nice little rhythm section, but it's on a corner, so a little more, added element there. But we got a pretty simple double, and if you had it, you could do another double out, but it's just much safer to do double, roller, and jump out of it onto the concrete. Try and carry nice speed round to the dog leg left-hander that we're coming up to. And yeah, that's it. Some people are really launching out of there, and they got the drive perfect. And so your ball, this is to be honest, from the rostrum, it's like really hard to see this. It looks straightforward, but from the actual, because it's so far away, it looks. Yeah, you think you're in the middle of the track, and you're in the marshal's ankle, basically. So. Yeah, look at all the pig poo or whatever we're calling it. I don't know what they've put into the track, but it's all spread out wide and it stinks. And I'm going to pass you over to Lee for the next bit.
So we got another hairpin here. It's really not a slow one though. It's actually one of my favourite corners, this, because you can come around this blind section. You don't really know where you're at. You don't really know when to turn. You have to do it more on judgment, or more on feeling than actually watching your car. So I always hammer in there and just full lock, don't use many brakes at all, and just basically try and run over the curb. If you run over the curb, you're doing a good job. And then you come down into this fast right-hander. Once again, there's not really much here to talk about apart from I try and stay tight and get a good line coming onto the concrete here, which was the old start-finish line, but I think they've changed it. So the key for this one again is just to stay tight. And probably something you've picked up on, there's actually quite a few concrete sections on the track, which are quite hard to distinguish over just the dirt bits like the hairpin we just walked around. When you're on a rostrum or the driver's stand, you tend not to remember that you're going on a concrete corner. You just end up there and you don't really think about it. So yeah, this was the old loop. Now it's nothing. It's a pretty cool section. It's a hairpin. Yeah, for the warm-up and after the warm-up, this bit really blew out. You kind of had a big hole in the middle here where it's actually still quite soft. So you could either go real tight or just basically drive through the hole a little bit slower than what you would normally. And then we've got this last double. It's a pretty hard double. I don't think it was ever intended to be a double. But if you keep it tight and you hit it with enough pace, you clear this second little roller. Some people weren't doing it. Most people were by the end of the day. And it's obviously faster to jump it. But it's a little bit risky, the fact that it is quite difficult to make, just because you don't get any height off the jump. So as we come through to our center S section, I'm going to give it to Neil to talk you through the end of the lap.
Yeah, so first of all, we got a nice little nothing left-hander, but I say it's nothing, but it's quite deceiving from the rostrum because the pipes are high. It's really easy to turn in. Yeah, it's cobbles again. It's a little bit of concrete mixed in there. Back onto the racing surface and the clay. And we come round, pretty straightforward corner. Then we come to the end of the lap, which is again onto the paving or flags or whatever we're calling it. And then, this is really slippy coming on. So you got to give yourself, Scandinavian flick. You got to always look cool when you're driving. And most of the top guys are pretty impressive around here. But yeah, you try and avoid the painty bit, which is the slippiest. Couple of like 2 wheels on it. Back off down the main straight to finish the lap and hopefully win the race. And yeah, that's your track walk. I'll pass you back over to Lee.
Yeah, and that's it. A couple of things more to point out. You can tell probably by us we're a bit sweaty. It's been a massively hot day. The sweat has been pouring out. I think I've drunk about 6 litres of water today, so it's not been that pleasant, but it is what it is. Another thing to point out is probably the sprinklers, which we haven't talked about going around. There's quite a lot of them around the track, and they do become a little bit annoying when you're driving around if you pay attention to them. Most of the time you forget they're there, but sometimes it feels like you're driving round the sprinklers and not the corners, but I think that's it. Yeah, it looks like sweeps going on. which could change a few things as well. It could make the track a little bit more actual slick in places because the track will polish. But no one likes dust, it makes the cars dirty. So that's a good thing, I think. And I think that's it. Robert Battle's going down there, look. Seeing what tyre he's got to use. Or just going to help, like a nice little Spanish guy.
No, he's not helping.
No, he's not helping, he's hindering.
Yeah.
This is probably going to get edited out.
Anything else? No, nothing else really to add, except, again, with the heat, I've never seen a 400 sweatier men in a confined area. It's not nice, it's not something I want to see a lot in my life. And that's all I got to say on it.
Yeah, it's really not a pretty sight. I mean, especially when people decide that they don't need to wear a t-shirt.
People with nipple rings.
Mr. Boots. Ciao.
See you later, guys.